Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer, on average, got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
I'm a bummer. It's November 10th.
Hey. It's the
John and
Heather Show coming to you. That's right. All of you live from
our production studio, riding with this great bunch back here. Born to Ride, almost covered by my flag.
That's right. Born to Ride.
Why is that, baby?
Because, honey, we are
Born to Ride.
That's right. And then you'll notice that we are very patriotic today. We have the flag up. We took our banner down and we decided to put our flag up for a little while.
Why not?
And we hope everybody else is feeling the red, white, and blue.
Why not? You got to. You got to feel the red, white, and blue, especially if you got Harley strapped between you and you're riding it. It's just...
Or anything of that matter, any type of scoot. Not anything.
I was waiting for it.
Any type of scoot. That's what I
was
mean.
waiting for it.
But that brings me to our special guest tonight, everybody. Speaking of red, white, and blue, what more could you ask for? Much more of a very American philanthropist, American motorcycle riding, wheeling and dealing, Adam Sandoval will be live in the house today, coming on in a little while. And before he comes on, we would like to show you all a little bit
about what he does, who he is, and what he's about.
That's right. So we're going to show you some of Adam's clips so you can get a little feel for Adam before he comes on today. So let us get started. And off we go.
It will be my 4-year launch. We'll be starting my 4th year, and it just involves a wide array of things. My journey from starting to today has been quite the adventure and process. Today, I am taking a plane flight, something I haven't done very much of in the last 3 years. My routines are pretty, well, routine. Much of my life is spontaneous, ventures, new cities, new towns, new people, but much of it is very, very routine. Every morning I wake up, I pack, and I move. Usually that packing means packing up inside my hotel room or my campsite, then packing up my motorcycle. Today will be a little bit different. We'll be on an airplane and then riding for the day, unpacking everything off the bike, unpacking it in the hotel room, going to work on editing footage and stuff like I'm doing right here today, and then right back to the same routine the next morning. Get in, buddy. Every morning, Scooter gets fed, and every evening, Scooter gets fed. He eats twice a day. That's another piece of my routine. Today, I'm going to take you along. I'm going to tell you exactly how I've gotten to where I am today. It's a question a lot of you ask me all the time. Let me start with eating. I've been getting better. Hot breakfast food from a hotel. It wasn't always that way. Another thing to think about is eating healthy. It's hard, very, very, very hard to eat healthy when you're on the road every day of the year for 3 years straight. So when it came to food, the beginning was much different than today. Today I can eat, I'm comfortable, I have enough sponsorships. But how did I get to that point? And what was it like for me in the beginning? See, in the beginning, there were no hotels like this one you see right behind me. There were no free breakfasts like the one I just ate. It was rough. I left on this trip with one sponsor. Scott Fisher from Six Ben's Harley Davidson sponsored me $500 a month. And that was the only income I had. Keep in mind, my fuel bill every month was about $750. So that leaves you to ask yourself, how did I do? Well, I sold almost everything I owned. Vehicles, my house, my furniture, my dishes, my TVs, everything I owned with the exception of a few sentimental pieces. That money went into a bank account, and that is what I used to fund the campaign. Now, I was going on the road on this grand adventure that I had never done before. Prior to this trip, I think my biggest road trip was about 800 miles. I just knew I always had the dream of experiencing that open road, and I had a passion for wanting to give back to my military. You can't eat that. Come here. Knucklehead. So that was a struggle in itself. I was leaving on this trip, at least what I thought would be 1 year, with absolutely no idea on what it was going to take to accomplish the goal. I knew a couple things. One, I wanted to do it for charity. I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to give all that money to a good cause that had something to do with our military. I regretted never serving in the military. And I knew that nobody in the history of Harley Davidson had ever ridden to every dealership in the country. So I said, that could be my mission. Well, after I made the decision, and I wrote a book on this, it's called Inside My Helmet, and it goes through more of the intimacies of what we're talking about today. But after I made that decision, I spent about 3.5 months, and I had gotten rid of everything. I was loaded up, and I had started the journey that I'm still living today. How's it going today, man? So times were tough. We were sleeping outside, camping next to the motorcycle. We were traveling, and we were living very humbly. I mean, I was for months eating sardines, literally. We had no following. We had no real support system. Social media numbers were non-existent. I was showing up at dealerships. Nobody knew what I was doing or what I was about, but I was still determined to make the difference. Much of our survival really just depended on the kindness of strangers. This is a great place to talk about a gentleman who called me out on YouTube about why he never sees me ride with Hondas, or if I don't like Hondas or other brands, or if I only like Harley Davidson. I have to tell you, there are a lot of beautiful motorcycles out there, and I love all motorcycles. There are fast motorcycles, there are comfortable motorcycles, there are sporty motorcycles, there's beautiful motorcycles. They all have different characteristics. I really have an appreciation, a strong appreciation for a lot of them. But the one thing that Harley Davidson has that many, if not all of the other brands do not have, at least not in a comparable fashion, is the culture, the community. And this really played a part in this aspect of my life. No matter where I went, I was able to run in to other Harley Davidson people, and they would take me in with open arms, not even knowing me, just hearing my story that night. So to answer your question, yes, about 30% of the bikes that share the road with me every day are non-Harley Davidson brand, but we're all living within the Harley Davidson culture. There used to be a time where Harley guys looked down on other brands. I think people are hanging on to that from the past. I don't see much of that this day and age out on the road. Now, as I share this story,
Wow, what a guy.
I'm in an
You
Uber,
ain't kidding. I don't know how to
headed
get it.
to the
That's
airport,
pretty amazing.
back to North Carolina, pick up my bike.
Yeah, but he was right about
Had a
Harley.
few
It's a
events go back
community.
to back that just
It
weren't
is.
humanly possible to
You're
make it to on my
absolutely
bike.
right.
So
I
figured
am my
a good time
brother's
to get my
keeper. I
bike
am my
first.
sister's keeper.
And
my wife,
a rare
yeah.
chance
That's
to take some
right.
flights. So that was interesting. A little news flash for y'all. TSA is going to be implementing some new
TSA,
regulations,
hear that,
and I
everyone.
just got the pre-screening for them, but expect longer lines.
I was gonna get on there with his talk.
So back to the story. I'm on the road. Nobody's really following me, and I'm really relying on the kindness of strangers to get me through from stop
Look at how
to
cute
stop.
he is.
It was grueling.
You
It
know
was
he's very
difficult.
old.
The hardest
He's
part
very
of
old.
the trip, I think, was the fact that I had to ride every single day. There were exceptions, of course. For the most part, no matter what the weather did, the next day I had to get up early in the morning, get on that bike because I had a very strict schedule. It's the only way I was going to make a difference in the charity I wanted was to allow people to know when I was going to be at the dealerships. It's more of a schedule than any job I've ever had in my life.
Oh,
And
so
I've
as
had
he's running from
a few
state to
corporate
state, they
jobs.
meet him there.
You know,
Exactly.
That's
He
cool.
did book
So that went on
signings.
for
That's cool.
almost 8 months, riding every day, different cities, different towns, different people, wanting to experience the local flavor, but had to keep moving to keep that schedule. But as I moved, as I kept that schedule, as I promoted, as I
He's got
met
more of
people
an
in the
iron
store,
butt than
more and more
anybody.
people started following me online. I realized very quickly that if I was going to raise the most money, I needed to slow it down. I needed to spend more time at these dealerships, more time with the people, talking about the beauty
What a
of touring the
beautiful
country and
scene.
going
Look at
through it, and
that.
talking about the important need for our country. So when I did that, it kind of turned my whole plan upside down. See, I left Fort Myers, Florida, November 10th, 2014. And my plan was leave in the winter, do those southern states first during the winter while I'm fresh, I'm hungry, I'm energetic. So that way, at the end of the year, when I'm tired and wore out from being a year on the road, I'd be in the summer states up north. Yeah. Staying at those dealerships longer meant another year on the road. And at this point, I had already done all the southern states, and I had another winter to hit. This meant riding in the snow, riding horrible conditions and everything else. I went back to an event at Scott Fisher's, and he said, "Hey, what can I do to help you more?" I said, "Listen, man, I'm headed into Chicago in February, and little Scooter here, he can't ride in that cold like that. I can deal with it, I can take it, but he can't." So Scott gave me Igor. He sponsored me Igor and someone to drive Igor, which would be my chase vehicle, where Scooter could stay in the cold while I was riding those hellacious
Bus.
winters. It was ridiculous. So along with the driver and the bus came an extra person, an extra pair of hands, which meant I could do more marketing. I was able to reach more sponsors. Kuryakin came aboard. Law Tigers ended up helping me out. I had Cliff Bar as a sponsor for a little bit. And these sponsors started coming on, really getting behind my mission and my messaging and said, you know what, this is something we'd like to be aligned with. That money I rolled directly back in to trying to raise more money. It's one thing I learned about charity really quick is it takes money to raise money. So if you want to make a difference, you have to be willing to invest back into making more difference. And so that's what we did. I took my sponsorship money, instead of living lavishly or buying clothes or anything of the sort, I used it all to try to spread the message that, listen, all of us can use our passion to make a difference. Here's how I'm doing it. If you want to help me make a difference here, wonderful. If I reach you with my message and you want to do something on your own to make a difference, even
I
more
told you you
better.
would love it.
I think the money that I raise and donate to charity, which is more than any single person on a motorcycle in the history of the world, is a drop in the bucket compared to what I will probably never know happened for charity because people saw my mission and what I'm doing. And that's where the real power of social media, marketing, and what I
Exactly.
did
He
comes
knows what
together.
he's doing.
Along with all the growth came more support. More support meaning I also had more people offering me places to stay. I had dealerships willing to put me up in the room when I came to their town. And it made it a little bit easier for me. I was also having a problem funding Scooter's Chase vehicle. Although I got the bus and I got a person, the bus was very expensive for fuel. I reached out to my friends and I said, hey, listen, will y'all help me fuel this thing so I can keep moving and keep making a difference? We called it a Scooter sponsor, and people came out of the woodwork to help Scooter and I continue on this journey. It was like a $20 a month sponsorship, but it really made a difference. It allows us to put fuel in the bus. It allows us to live just a little bit healthier. Then the unthinkable happened. The lady was texting and driving, came over the yellow line into oncoming traffic, and she hit me head on. I got life flighted. Scooter was on the bike, but luckily he was in his Kuryakin pet house, which is a carrier designed for carrying dogs, and it kept him completely safe. He had 0 injuries.
Wow.
I got life flighted to Pittsburgh. The leg was a mess. They wanted to amputate it. They ended up saving it. It was a really bad time. And not only was I down now physically and injured, and not only was I now taken away from my mission and my goal, something I had at this point poured a year and a half every day of my life. No going home to any bed, no cooking any home cooked meals, none. On the road, many nights in the dirt, just being tired and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I had 100 dealerships to go, and boom, all of it taken from me. And I really had to look at my attitude and what I was going to do, because on top of all of that, I also now wasn't making a difference for charity, which is what had kept me so positive and motivated and driven.
Make a difference.
People started doing GoFundMe
They want
pages.
to amputate his leg.
I didn't want it. I didn't want that type of help. I didn't want handouts. I put myself in a position. See, I had run so low on cash that just 8 months prior to that, I canceled my health insurance. I just couldn't afford to pay it. My premiums had gone up with the new healthcare programs that just came into place, and I couldn't swing it. And it was either stop or it was keep riding and keep donating to a charity and to a cause that I truly believed was my life mission. So I put a thing out and said, listen, I'm not supporting and I won't take any money from any of these GoFundMes. If you see them out there, please, contact the people, let them know I appreciate all of their help and their consideration.
Yeah,
but I myself am not interested in taking those handouts. I will figure this out on my own. Luckily, Law Tigers had my back, and they went through and they got it down where I didn't owe $200,000 in debt. I would have had $200,000, but I couldn't walk. I couldn't ride, and I needed to make a difference. So I started a GoFundMe page, but with a little trick. I didn't tell people the title. I just said, okay, I'm doing a GoFundMe. And then when you clicked in, you went to the video, I said, but the GoFundMe isn't for me. We're going to raise money. Since I can't ride, I can still use my hands. We're going to build a bike. We're going to fund it, and we're going to build it, and we're going to give it free to a veteran. And that veteran ended up being a Purple Heart recipient. You can view all my videos. You can search Infidel Bike, and you can follow the whole process of building it. We videotape the whole thing. And I felt like I was still doing something good. I felt like I still had some value. Well, the bike got built, and I was anxious to get back on the road. So before I could even walk, boom, back to the bike, and I'm riding. Now, the bike was totaled by the insurance company's terms, but Scott Fisher said, again, stepped up to the plate. I owe this man a ton, which is why if you go to his dealership, you will find my bike in his lobby. Wow. He said, I'm going to fix the bike. We're not letting him total it. You're finishing it on your bike. The War Horse, right? So he did, man. He fixed it, and he got it back up to me. Before I could even walk, I was back on my bike and riding to my final one of the dealerships. I had friends helping carry me in and out of the dealerships and put me back on my bike. My friends like John of Indiana and Blaster and Tudor, who stood behind me and helped me complete this goal I poured years of my life into. Fast forward, I finished the campaign. We had a huge turnout. Everything's wonderful. And Harley Davidson says to me, listen, would you like to stay on the road and continue making a difference? My answer is yes. It's a hard place to live. I'm tired. I'm wore out. The miles are long. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying this is easy. I can tell you, I've had a lot of people come on the road with me expecting to come for weeks and weeks and leave after one because it's just not an easy place to live. Wonderful hobby, but when you have to do it in the extremes that I do, it becomes difficult. Nonetheless, it has become part of my life. We came up with a program called Mission Thank You, where I rode around the country and gave away brand new 2017 and 18 Harley Davidsons, powered by the Milwaukee 8, to military veterans and active duty military around the country. One about every 3 weeks is really how it worked out for the timeline of the campaign. Pretty exciting stuff.
Isn't it cool?
Along with that has come some other sponsors. I've come up with my own signature eyewear glasses with a patent, and inside leak, I'm working with the major seat company to produce a touring seat specifically designed for those people who like to ride a lot. And by a lot, I mean a real lot. We're hoping this seat to be completely revolutionary. And I've been able to get involved in some different things, and I've been able to, make a survival. I am able to survive, and I am able to live more comfortably. Am I getting rich? No. Am I making a difference? I think so. And am I loving my life and my mission, and do I feel accomplished? 100%. That's really what my process was across the country on this thing. So people come to me and they say, how do I get a gig like you've got? And the answer is really, you put in the time in, you put in the work. I have been living off the back of a motorcycle. Think about that. Living off the back of a motorcycle with a dog for what is going to be in 2 weeks, the beginning of my 4th year. Not just living and surviving, not just floating from town to town, a week here, a week there. Moving literally every day, every other day. Constantly. I've been coast to coast 11 times, pretty much every national park in the country. I've been all kinds of beautiful places, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So does Scooter, man. You can see some of those videos where he's back there looking off into the sunset. It's amazing. That, my friends, is how you become, I guess, a professional motorcyclist. People ask me what I do. It's hard to say. I'm a philanthropist. I raise money for charity. I help people. But I'm also riding a motorcycle for survival. Again, I'll say for survival. So that's my story. That's how it happened. Now, there's a million little stories that are so touching that, again, back are in my book. You want to know the meat and the potatoes, and you want the intimacies of the trip.
This is why I've always liked him.
Up to me leaving on the trip, all my emotions and the first year, along with a lot of important people I've met. If you did read my books, leave a comment down in the comments right now. Let everybody know what you think of it, and tell them, whether or not you recommend it. Give me a 1 to 5 star rating right now down in the comments. I would really appreciate that. We shared a lot of things in there that were very, very personal. But like I said in the beginning of this video, the only reason I was able to achieve this goal and do what I do is because of all of you. So I felt you all had the right to know the truth and the details, no matter how difficult they were for me to tell. So you might ask yourself, what does the future look like for Adam and little Scooter? Well, I'm just leaving Milwaukee now with meetings with corporate Harley-Davidson, and I don't have any updates for you. I don't have any inside news for you. I can tell you this. I have a strong passion for motorcycles. I have a strong passion for getting people on motorcycles because I think it not only changes their lives, but encourages them to be active members of the community, which in turn helps our entire community. So I will always, for the rest of my life, put my energies towards growing the sport of motorcycling. I also can tell you that I am indeed now in script process on a movie about my life. Have aspirations of retiring on a campground where I can share all my stories and people can come that are traveling. I've visited so many cool motorcycle resorts around the country, and I've got so many great ideas up here, and I'd love to implement them and put them into a hub where people can come together. That's my dream. Product and development. I think there's a lot of ways to improve the motorcycle world. I think there's a lot of ways to improve the motorcycle experience. I will always try to be innovative and try to help brands come up with new creative ways to help all of us enjoy that open road a little bit more. My sunglasses that are coming out, I put magnets in both the arms, so when you close them like this, they actually stay closed, and then you can stick them to your gas tank, swap out your clears and your darks. It's going to change the game. I hate hunting for places to put my glasses. I hate even more when I pull them out, and as you can see here, scratches. Enjoy that open road, those of you that ride. Those of you who don't ride, jump. Take the jump. Get out there. Enjoy the open road. You will meet more amazing people, and you'll have more stories to tell, just like the one I just shared with you today. My stories, my adventure, my experience outweighs the next guy's fancy car 10 out of 10 times. My humble opinion. Till the next vlog, y'all dream until your dreams come true.
Wow. What I have to say is that's an amazing person.
All right, everybody, tell me, which one of you guys feels like you have chills running up and down?
The same story he just did, and then getting into a head-on collision, and his left leg was all gnarled up, and I'm telling you, that's a shifting leg.
Almost amputated.
I know. but they carrying him from his bike to the dealer, from the dealer back to his bike so he could ride some more. You know, brother, I give you props up like you wouldn't believe for that one. That I didn't know.
Yeah. Adam, you are amazing. I've enjoyed it. I'm so glad that he's going to be on the show. David, let's see what you say.
I love Scooter.
Yes, he does. David Hayes, he says he loves Scooter. He rocks.
That's a cool little chihuahua.
You would like him because you love your dog,
That's
David.
right.
David has a bunch of adorable pugs.
Oh, he's a pug person.
He's a pug person, and he's got a little teeny pug, probably the size of Scooter.
Really?
Yeah, so no wonder you like it, David.
Yeah, but you want a little dog to ride with us.
I do. I want to have a little dog to ride with us on the back of Hell's Machine.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do that
Yeah.
at some point, but not now.
Not
I'm not ready for
No,
that.
we have an elderly dog right now that we're taking care of. She's 14 and she's just an old pit, and
Yeah, she's our
she doesn't
old
get
lady.
out of your way anymore. She'll just lay on the floor because she just doesn't move fast. She's losing her hearing, but she's happy.
Yeah.
She's
So,
happy.
anyways, Adam's pretty cool with what he does. He's really a unique philanthropist,
Mhm.
and his story really is touching. I'm glad that he's going to come on the show. He'll be on the show in a few minutes, guys. So we're very excited to have him on.
Mhm.
But I wanted to tell you a little bit about what he's done that you didn't get to see.
Oh, yeah, tell him about
He's going to tell you a little bit more about some of what he's done and why he was so adamant in his dream of helping vets.
Yeah,
He has built something that is really,
for veterans.
it's for everyone,
Yes.
but vets get to
Oh,
go
For
for free.
That's what it is. Yeah, he doesn't charge the veterans to go to his facility and tell them about it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let Adam
Adam
tell
do it.
everybody about it.
Okay.
But there's a bunch of videos on YouTube on Adam's channel, which you can watch, that show you all about it. And the K River Campground, Criver Campground is really unique, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't even know how the first time I came across Adam was.
Probably when
It
you
was
put in-
years ago.
Probably when you put in the videos that you like, you keep on putting up videos.
No, I've known about Adam Sandoval for years.
Yeah, well, he says he's what,
MTV, I think.
What, 2014?
19. He started in 2019.
No, he started in 2014. He says he's been on the road for over 4 years now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
2014.
That's
That
a
is
long time.
that
That's
is a
just
long time. Well, I think so. I really think he's got the Iron Butt Challenge beat.
Yeah, because I have a friend of mine, or two Indian friends from two
Two
Indians.
Indians, two.
Yep, two. And he has done the Iron Butt Challenge, and he did that other challenge that's 1,500 miles in 24 hours.
Can you imagine that?
I can't think of the name of it, but he did 15. He said he had to average 62 miles an hour to be able to make the run.
I just wouldn't be able to imagine.
No, he did the Iron Butt in 18 and a half hours, is what he said. But I don't know how long it took him to do the 1,500, something Iron Eagle or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, my back hurts, but we
We do about 2
walk.
hours. After about 2 hours, I
2
got to stretch.
hours.
I really do, because my back is starting to hurt me at about 2 hours. I got a comfy seat now. Adam, I understand what you're saying, because I've been on some Corbins, and they're harder seats.
Yeah,
And the harder seats, even though you feel a little bit uncomfortable when you're on them, for some reason, the long haul, they're better on your ass. Why? I don't know. That's the truth.
you need more cushion for the pushing.
Yeah, I got no butt.
Yeah,
What's that-
well, we
what's
have
that
small
disease?
little
What's
butts.
that disease called? The
No ass at all.
You know, I was sorry, reading comments. and
Oh,
stuff.
let's see what this comment says. Adam
And
lives the
lives-
life we dream about and learned how to make something good with it. He will always be blessed. His stories are amazing. He captures your attention real fast. Great show tonight. Great guest speaker. I love this lifestyle. There's nothing like
And
it.
that's the truth.
Amen.
That's the truth.
Amen, David Hayes.
And that brings us back to what he
I
was
love
saying.
what you just said.
No, and exactly, and that brings us back to what he said before, and the whole reason why he chose his Harley over other metric bikes that are out there that are still really nice is it's the camaraderie, it's the brotherhood. There's just something different about owning a Harley than owning any other motorcycle.
And right, and now he's riding an Indian. He's trying and testing an Indian out.
Oh, cool.
He's been riding an Indian, I believe, for I don't know if it's been a year,
Mhm.
but it's a nice Indian. He's a real nice Indian, and he's rocking it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's all about the brotherhood, the sisterhood, and that's why he has done what he's done and built what he's built, which he's going to tell us all about it and what
I still can't believe that I'm just thinking of the head-on collision when I saw,
especially with you being in the medical field.
When I took a look at his leg, I know that was just a brief 3-second clip that popped up, and I took a look at that man's leg. He had compound fractures. He had all kinds of stuff. I'm sure he had bones sticking out his side of his leg.
Oh God,
so
that's gotta hurt.
And I'm just trying to think how that man's able to shift.
Wow.
I'm just trying to figure that out. It's like I got a friend of mine that he got into a wreck and got paralysis in his hand out. And he said for a while he had to pull back the clutch like this, kind of hold on to it and move his arm back just so he could work the clutch because he didn't have any of this. So, you got to be able to make do and you got to be able to work with what you have.
Yeah, you do. And sometimes, you just do the best that you can do. But it really blows my mind of what he did. I know from coming from having a horrific accident and getting back on my feet again, and going through therapy and going through all that I went through, what it takes. But I didn't just jump right back on a motorcycle.
No. Well, you couldn't.
I didn't even jump back in the car and drive. It took me a few years before I would even drive. I was traumatized.
Well, she went through the windshield of a truck and landed, 20, 30
first.
20, 30 feet away. The seatbelt actually snapped.
So
this was way before I met you. This was in 2010. The rollover.
Yeah, that was horrific. So I for me, my heart goes out to Adam for that accident. But he's
also getting him falling off the horse and getting back.
He's got him big and strong to go back out and do what he did.
Yep.
And I'm really excited to talk about it and everything else. But we're going to bring him on the show. If you guys are ready, we'll let you all get ready to meet with Adam in just a minute. And Adam, you let us know if you're ready. You give us a thumbs up when you're ready, sir.
Okay.
All right, we'll be ready to bring you on.
Here comes Adam.
Here comes Adam, everybody.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hi.
Good. How's it going?
Everything's going fine. I was just saying, I am so impressed. I'm in the medical field, and I'm so impressed that when you got into that head-on wreck, thank God you survived. But you were able to get back. How did you shift? I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah, we're like blown away.
Because I had a friend of mine that lost his hand in a motorcycle wreck by paralysis. He had a shift by pulling his arm back like this. So how did you do it?
Sure. Man, I was just blessed. I had an injury that was, not great, not ideal, but luckily I didn't lose a hand or lose a foot. I just had a broken leg and a lot of tissue damage. Just stayed stubborn, man. Stayed focused and just kept pushing. Got back on the bike, and glad I did, man. I was more worried about Scooter getting back on the bike because he was in that wreck with me, and man, he took right to it too. So as soon as he jumped in the bag and I knew he was good to go, then I had to be good to go too, right?
Yeah, because you got tons of fans of Scooter. My friend Dave was on here saying how much he loves Scooter.
Yeah, Scooter's my boy.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you on. Now, we've been watching you for quite a while, and I've reached out to you.
Nice bikes.
Yeah. Oh, are you in your garage?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, do tell.
Do tell
all about it. Just forget what I was going to say. We're more impressed with the eye candy.
Yeah, it's just the bikes, man. Just, keeping them warm out of the cold, right? Keeping them out of the rain.
Yeah.
Now, do you ride each one of those all of the time?
Not all the time, no. Different ones for different trips, mainly. I got, I'll share one bike with you over here. That's kind of cool. This one right here. Sorry, everything's backwards in my camera.
Right.
This one here is an old Indian. Like I said, everything's backwards in my camera. Let me figure out how to get you there. I can't figure it out. All right. So this one is an old Indian. Why is it not? Everything's backwards.
That's our life.
It's an old Indian.
There you go.
And this was actually a gift that was given to me. A gentleman actually had lost his left leg. So you'll see that it's a suicide shift down here.
Wow.
And he gifted Yeah, his parents gifted to me. Unfortunately, he had passed away, and they gifted it to me to make it a veterans bike. So I'm going to basically make that a motorcycle. Yeah, make it a motorcycle for veterans to be able to ride whenever they want. Whenever they come out to the campground, if they don't have their own wheels, they'll be able to ride that one. But it's got a little work that needs to be done to it before we're ready.
Yeah, Alan, even driving a suicide stick is difficult.
We love that, that you have such an extreme passion for something that is it should be even more, more people should have more of the feeling that you have.
Yeah.
Because
spit it out, girl.
I can't
Spit
even spit it out. Like John's a vet.
Yeah.
And he was in the Navy. And for me, I just believe that we should take care of our elderly, our children, our special needs, and our people that have fought for our country.
Definitely.
And
Amen.
I love
I'm
what
with you.
you've done.
Well, thank you very much. It's very fulfilling. I always try to tell people that it's not when you do they call it charity, whatever, but it's a selfish thing. I do it because it makes me feel good. And that's something a lot of times people have a hard time understanding, is that we do this because it makes us. I do it because it makes me feel good.
I understand.
Well, that's not
that.
selfish at all, brother.
That's not. I found somebody.
You're still making other people feel good. You're still reaching out. You're still making other people feel good. He froze up there. Making other people feel good, and then making you feel good at the same time. So as far as I'm concerned, that is just a win-win situation.
That is exactly it. I mean, you're doing no wrong.
Feeling selfish by making other people feel better, as far as I'm concerned, I could live with that.
When did you have this epiphany that you wanted to do this?
Yeah.
So ask that question again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
When did you have this epiphany that you wanted to do this ride, that you wanted to take this on, sell everything. And hit the road?
Because that's pretty gutsy.
Yeah, that's ballsy.
Yeah. Ooh, I think Adam hit the wrong button.
Oh, well, he'll be back on in just a minute. But that's what happens when you are with live TV.
Yeah, that's what happens with live TV. But I'll tell you right now, that bike collection he has, I was kind of
what a garage.
Yes, and
I know we get excited over that garage.
But I'm still excited by how well he's doing it and how well he's been able to do with reaching out to the community, to the veterans, to the bikers, having those bikers come to where he's going to be able to donate to a good cause.
And doing what he does, helping all the people that he helps. I mean, he helps build houses. He helps
campsites. Heck, he's letting them ride that cool Indian that with the freaking suicide stick on it. Just if a vet shows up and says, hey, my scoot's down right now. Do you have anything to ride?
Yeah, exactly.
Here he comes.
There he is. He's back again.
Oh, hold on 1 second. He's trying.
There we go. Let us know if you're ready to come back on, Adam.
I may have to move out of my shop.
Hey, I don't think so. We'll move in for you.
Yeah, we'll move in.
But anyways, we were asking you, when did you decide you were going to do all this?
Yeah.
It's a long story. I mean, so long. I even wrote a book about it. But the short of it is, I had kind of dreamt about doing something like this, and I started to really regret never serving in the military myself in my 30s. And it started out as just pillow talk with my wife. And her and I ended up getting divorced. And, I just said, this is an opportunity for me to rebuild my life however I want it to be.
Exactly.
And I said, I'll start chasing the things that are close to my heart and doing what makes me happy. And here we are today. So
that's almost therapy for you. Any divorce is traumatic on any man. And being able to go and ride, because I call it wind therapy when I'm on my bike. I zone everything out. There's no hate. There's no nothing. It's just the wind in my face and Heather behind me. But still, and with that, it's therapy. You were able to clear your head and get rid of the negativity involved with what was going on. And I commend you for that. It's the best way of doing it. A healthy outlook and a healthy approach to what happened with the bad situation.
And it
Yeah,
seems like, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
go ahead.
It seems like you've done that with just about almost every situation that you've brought to the limelight, or those situations that maybe have come out that maybe you didn't want to be in social media at that particular moment. You've made the best situation out of everything. And I think that is commendable.
Yeah, growing your fan base and everything, that's hard.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You know, I mean, listen, everybody, every single person watching your show tonight, everybody has struggles in their life. All of us have hard times, and they all will pass. You know, and it's a matter of how we use them to better ourselves, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I've had struggles. I've had wrecks. I've had divorce. I've had financial issues. I've had everything you can imagine. You know, uncertainty. Anxiety after giving up my career and just dedicating my life to charity for a couple of years. You start to look at, well, what's my future? And there's struggles, and I think it's just important that no matter what the struggle is, that you try to answer it with positivity and not negativity. It's real easy to just let stuff get you down. It's real easy to just focus on the negative and say there's no way out of this. But the reality is there is a way out of it, and it starts with you admitting that.
Exactly.
And once you admit that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how difficult the struggle is, there's something that can come good out of it. And you decide what that is for you, and you go after it like nothing you've ever gone after before in life. And you turn a bad into a positive. That's my belief.
That's exactly it. And it's a good way to look at it.
It's a wonderful way. I had to do that. I saw it. I used to be a heavy man, and my second wife passed away, and I needed a healthy outlook. So I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I've been sober since 2017, and I'm actually in shape now for the first time in my life. And thank you. And that was my healthy way of coping with the loss of my wife, because she drank herself to death. She was an alcoholic, and so was I. And I stopped. And going to the gym for me and riding my Harley were the two things that I used for my therapy. And just you getting out on the road, clearing your head, and Scooter.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Speaking of Scooter, a friend of ours wants to know who gets more girls, Scooter or you?
That is a non-starter, man. That is a very easy question to answer. Scooter all day long, man. It's not even a competition. I'm in the minors and he's in the majors.
How old is Scooter now?
Scooter's 13.
Wow. And how is Scooter doing?
For 13, he's doing pretty good. I mean, he's got health issues and things like that, but overall, he is he's stable and living the best life he can at 13 years old.
Yeah,
that's good.
And I got a 14-year-old pit bull too that I take care of, and I've had her since she's 16 weeks old. That's my baby girl. Same way, and I've taken her all over traveling with me too. And she's just a wonderful dog. Now, Heather,
speaking of traveling, yes, that's bingo. We go on to the same thing. We've got that wavelength going, kind of like you and Ashley seem to finish each other's sentences. We have the same thing going on where we're able to do that, and we don't even plan it.
No.
But speaking of that, tell our fans and your fans a little bit about what you've built, what you've done, that fantastic campground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the K River Campground is just my campground. I tell you, I another time I was going through a hard time. I had Harley Davidson had dropped my contract and sure what my future looked like. And I know I wanted, ever since I was riding and living on the road full time, I stayed in a lot of campgrounds. And ever since I did that, I knew that my future would end up being a campground. I think because of the rotation of people. And when you live on the road and you're traveling every day to new cities, you constantly have new people in your life every day. And the thought of being in one spot with all the same people terrified me. It's how I lived my entire life up to that point. But after opening my eyes on this traveling, it just different things were important to me. and having a rotation of people that I could meet and that knew and that spontaneity was important. And I knew that if I had a campground, I would have that. I'd have the turnover in people and new people and be able to connect with old friends and make new friends. And so I bought the campground, and you know, the biggest thing for me when I opened up a campground was to be able to offer free camping for veterans. And so we have successfully achieved that. We've got several. Actually, tomorrow is the first day one of my veterans, my second veterans cabin goes on the market where they can come in and stay, and it's 100% free for veterans, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Yeah, I've been watching
it's enough.
that video that you did where you built the tiny house.
Yeah. We open it up tomorrow.
That's pretty cool. I love it.
That's
How do you get into the tiny house? Because you're a big man.
It's not that.
over.
I know
Stop.
he bends over.
Don't hit my head on a beam. I know.
Yeah.
Now,
out of all your time on the road, what was one of the best things that sticks out in your mind? An experience.
You know, it always goes back to veterans. I think, you know, that's been the most heartfelt moments of mine. You know, I've shared some really deep conversations with some gentlemen who weren't getting out of their house, you know, locking themselves in the house, locking themselves out of society, in a dark place. And when they saw town on the social media and they got out of the house and came, you know, out to meet me and explain to me where they were mentally and what, you know, me coming to town and them getting out of their house to come meet me has done for them. Just something as simple as just getting them out of the house. You know, a lot of conversations like that. Mothers who have lost children to the military. A lot of deep, heartfelt conversations there. My fondest memories of my trip are the connections I made with military and military families. I mean, that was the reason I was on the trip to start, and they are by far my most cherished memories.
that is
That's
really,
so good.
really neat. And when in this life, in your timeline, because I'm not exactly sure when it happened, did you meet Ashley?
So I met Ashley about a year before I finished my tour to every Harley Davidson dealerships. Maybe 8 months or so. I met her our second time. No, that's not true. Maybe our fourth time. So she'd fly out to where I met her when I came across Texas, and you know, we connected, and she started flying out to wherever I was in the country on her days off.
Wow.
And I want to say it was maybe her third or fourth time flying out to wherever I was in the country was the time I got hit by that car. And you know, at that time, it wasn't in my social media at all. She you know, it wasn't to that point of our relationship.
Right.
But you know, that was I'm gonna say maybe the third or fourth time that she had flown out to see me is when I got hit by that car. So, you know, probably a couple months before that is when we met.
Wow. Well, she's a very supportive woman then.
Yeah, I mean, she stood behind me through a lot. I mean, through an absolute lot, and she believes in me. And you know, when I'm uncertain or questioning my decisions, she's always there to be a solid stone for me. So I'm extremely thankful.
Yeah, she's my get out of jail card. She's the one that kind of keeps me from doing stupid stuff. So yeah, definitely, you know, having any good woman behind you that could support you and be able to help you with what you're doing and your charity, it's always it's like a team.
Yeah.
At that point,
We are a team. We're
Yeah.
definitely a team. And
that must have been a transition for you, going from being by yourself for so many years to then having a wife and then having to, you know, kind of share some of that. That had been a little bit of a transition.
probably,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely absolutely a transition. It's a different lifestyle out there on your own, you know. So to have somebody to support me and do that with me is very important.
That's great. That's so great. That's why I love my wife, because it's the same way. Anything that we do, like we bought a toy hauler.
In which we told you we want to come out and come to your
Yeah.
campground.
I'm sorry, say that again.
We want to come out. We just bought a toy hauler, a 2021 toy hauler. And what we want to do is we want to travel with it also.
That's
why
dream.
your story is just like clicking, man. It's clicking. And we want to be able to come out to your campsite because we want to do the whole biker circuit because we're video journalists with motorcycles like you. And I want to be able to travel the circuit. And I'd love to be able to come out to your campground.
Well, you absolutely should.
We definitely gonna.
We'll do some riding together.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I love the fact that Ashley rides. I really like that. I find that that's very great women empowerment, and I stand behind that. I used to ride myself, but I had a bad accident. So now I ride on the back, which I love being a navigator for. But
she's great, though.
She is. She's very great.
Where's you? Where's the campground at? I got people asking where the campground.
Yeah, we have people coming on. We have, let me see.
Al. I got Al on. He's a Marine and a Nam vet. Yeah, he served 2 tours.
Al Hagar. He's a friend of ours. Yep.
Yeah, he's the one I was telling you about that hurt his hand in the motorcycle wreck and had to jerk his arm back to switch gears.
And he did. He didn't give up.
Nope. He just switched over to another bike he had. Simple as that. And he's also, I got David here asking, where's the campground and the address?
Yeah, so it's in Moyers, Oklahoma, and the best address is just K River. That's just the letter K, the word river.com. You can go there and you get all the information you need.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to show your special, the video that you did about the K River Campground, the best biker destination. I'm going to show that a little bit, probably next week or a little bit later after we're done with you, so we don't take your time up because I know how busy you are.
But I want to say, Adam, this has been great. This has really been great having you on the show. I mean, we really do appreciate you coming on because I know you got a busy schedule, brother. I know that. And coming on the show is just great.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, what more do you see? What is up and coming? Yeah. What's in your plans?
Okay. All right.
Well, by accident, John must have told him we were done. John, you ding dong.
Well, anyway, Adam, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. If you do come back, we got the green room open for another 8.5 minutes. But, it was great having Adam on the show. I mean, this is a man that you wouldn't believe the amount of stuff that he's done, and it's just incredible.
Exactly. He's really a neat character. And, I can't wait until John and I can go out there and visit with him and get to bring you guys footage that we filmed of the K River Campground. So let me show you a little bit about the K River Campground.
Just try playing and switching it over.
It is getting cold out. I am heading back to the K River Campground.
That's right.
From a recent trip through the Baja of Mexico, and it was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go check out my playlist, Dream Rides, and then look for the trip across Mexico and a lot of other wonderful dream rides. But heading to the K River Campground, I'm really excited and thankful. There's a website called motorcycledestinations.com. Them and Law Tigers nominated my K River Campground as one of the best motorcycle destinations in America. And I'm excited about it. They made a little video about it, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So take a look.
We are at the K River Campground with my good friend, Adam Sandoval. We're so happy to be here this weekend. This is the first time, in fact, that I've been to the K River.
Hello, Adam. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
We miscommunicated. But we started showing a little bit about the K River.
Well, thank you. I'm having some service issues in that building, I think, so I just came outside to my truck. So I'm sorry if it's a little dark.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay. We We were hoping that you were coming back on. We're like, ooh, did you hit the wrong button again?
That or you're doing something mighty nasty in a dark truck.
Oh.
No, it's just my service. I don't. It's we're in the country out here, so sometimes it's a little spotty.
You're way out in the country, and I love the fact you got a petting zoo. You have how many acres? It's 100 acres.
Yes, ma'am. 100 acres.
That is a huge facility. We've got a place out here, which we call Redneck Paradise, which is about 60 acres. And it's called Scooter Haven, hence the term scooter.
Yeah.
And it's got a bunch of little cabins on it, and kind of like what you do, but on a much smaller scale. But it's still great fun for us.
Yes, it's great fun. It's also great for the veterans.
And another place called the Crossroads, which is like that.
Yep.
So let me ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. I wanted to know what your plans were doing, what you foresee in your future for K River.
Upcoming events and stuff.
Well, we've got the first weekend of October is our biggest event every year. It's called the Stubborn American, and it is kind of the reunion of breaking the Guinness Book World Record for the largest parade of Harley Davidsons. And I say a reunion. It's you don't have had to participate in the record to come. It's more like a ready company for if anybody ever breaks our world record. We've already got an event. We've already got people coming every year who are saying we will defend that world record and bring it back. It's just a rad party. There's mini bike races and costume contests and all that kinds of stuff. There's really, you go to kriver.com. There's a whole schedule of events there that can give you the different events that we have. We do a lot of different community events on holidays for the local kids and things like that. But biker related, we've got almost every weekend we've got some sort of an event going on. So
that's great. We're definitely going to have to come out there, bring our cameras, and do some vlogging and videoing out there also.
Yeah, because we're looking at thank you. And we're looking at what you're doing, and we've been doing this now for about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And we know a lot of the struggles involved to actually being able to get a sponsor and everything else. And it's incredible that you were able to do it because maybe, we had a divine intervention.
Yeah, I mean, I was blessed. I didn't know what I was doing. I just, I stumbled upon it. I was sharing on social. I didn't know there was a such thing as a job to be in social media. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was sharing my travels on social media to get more people to show up to the charity events to raise more money.
Mm-hmm. And you got lucky.
And then people started to just, grow, and it just took on a life of its own. But
word of mouth.
Yeah, my original reasons for doing what I'm doing were just to try to get more people to show up to the charity events. It just grew, and next thing I had companies wanting to endorse me, and it just really took off for me. So I was really blessed, but it was not planned. I wasn't as smart as it may seem. It just happened,
That's how it happened for us. Same exact thing. We stumbled across, and we just like what we do. We love it, and it became our passion and our dream.
Yeah, we're hanging out at a bar, and she just said, well, let's start a show and let's do an interview. Grabbed her cell phone and actually started doing an interview. Said that we were on a show and everything. We didn't have anything at the time. We just wanted to see if we could do an interview. And we did it, and it came out really good. So we started doing this when we went out to all bands would play, hey, do you mind if we tape you? Oh, go ahead. Boom, we put that up there. And we were able to get a small following that way. So, I like how you do that. Sometimes
exactly
it's just, the right circumstances, the right people, the right attitude. And also
it has to do with you.
It has to do with you, and it has to do with the good cause, a cause that people can relate to.
Exactly. And also you've come across some very great people along the way that have helped make your path a much more interesting path. You've talked about the people that you've met in military families and other people that you've met, and then you've met some really unique sponsors that have helped you out for years, which is it's great. You were talking about the one Harley dealer that was your first backer, $500 a month. Well, we can definitely relate to that.
Gas.
It was fuel money. Yeah. I mean,
700 in gas.
We know exactly all about that. And now you've come all the way up to Law Tigers. And we actually got to meet some Law Tigers representatives, and they were just really very nice people.
Yeah, they're genuine. They're genuine motorcycle people, and that's what I like about them. You know what I mean? They understand us. They enjoy being in the community. They enjoy being part of the events, and they're just a great company. So, you know, that's become a big thing for me. You know, you got to start to decide who you're going to stand with and who you're going to stand behind. I get a lot of offers every year from companies that I turn down just because maybe I don't love their product, or maybe I don't love the way they run their company, or maybe, you know, you got to believe in the product and you got to believe in the company if you're going to put your name on it. And that's something I've stayed true to, you know, to day one, you know, and sometimes things just don't work out, you know. I love Harley Davidson. I love my Harley Davidsons, you know, but I don't work with them anymore. Not product just because it didn't work out. And that can happen. But the ones that you say yes to, you've got to love the company and you've got to love the product.
Amen. We agree with that.
That's a great word of advice for anybody out there. It really is. Because you have to have moral fortitude. You really do. You got to keep your morals intact. And you can't just sell out. You can't drink the Kool-Aid, like Ron says.
Exactly. You can't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you can't. And you know, it'll be bad enough. I mean, even if you stick to those things, you'll have people saying, you sold out because you signed a sponsorship. But, you know, they don't ask themselves, you know, would they do it for their family if they like the product? And, you know, you like, what do you brush your teeth with? Crest every morning? If Crest called you brush your teeth with Crest, you said, yeah, I love it. And they said, okay, we'll start giving you money to tell people you love it. You'd be fool not to do it.
Exactly.
Not selling out.
No brainer, man.
Yeah. So, you know, you'll get hate and you'll get struggles, and, you know, things like that'll come regardless of what direction you go. But as long as you keep it honest and you keep it true, you can stand behind it every day, and you can show your face on camera, and you can proud of what you're doing for years to come, and you don't have to worry about it catching up with you.
That's exactly it. And we've really enjoyed talking with you, Adam.
Yes.
I mean, I can't thank you enough for giving me your time.
Yes, thank you so much. We really, really do appreciate this.
I'm doing this. You know, I've become an early bird. Normally I'm in bed about 30 minutes ago. So I'm up early. I start my day about 5 a.m. You know, so
we get up early too. We understand. This is our late night.
Yeah. So we definitely get it. We don't go out and party anymore.
Sometimes this is the best way to spend a late night, you know, to be honest.
That is true.
Or with your wife.
Well, we hope you have a very nice evening, and we do look forward to meeting you in person. We will be ringing your bell someday.
Yes.
When you hear ding dong, it will not be Avon. It will be Heather calling.
Crazy redhead right here.
I'll be saying, hey.
At the front door. Well, Adam, thank you so much for being on the show. We really do appreciate it. And anything we can do to spread your message, we will.
Definitely.
Hey, y'all take care, and you keep on.
Yes, keep on keeping on, man.
That's
Bye-bye,
right.
Adam.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody, there you go. You had it. That was Adam Sandoval coming to you live from his truck.
Yeah, because his Wi-Fi was kind of stinky in the shop.
So there you have it. What a neat philanthropist. We hope you guys have enjoyed the show today. And we will be back again next week. We will miss you. We love you all. We hope that you enjoy all of our videos and keep watching our show. We love you and have a wonderful night.
And shiny side up.
And rubber side down.
Terry just logged on late, so I just want to say, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
How are you, Terry?
Hey, Terry.
Glad you got to watch the show.
Yep.
Have a good night, Terry.
All right, guys.
All right, David. Bye, David.
Oh, bye, David.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Al. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye, Adam.